Hi y'all, this is Larry from Deep South Texas, and today we're going to make spicy bean dip. Basically, we want to try to copy this stuff that comes in a 9-ounce can that costs $2 or $3 a can. We can make it a lot cheaper than that. But we're going to start off with dried pinto beans. If you're a homesteader or a prepsteader or a homesteader wannabe like me, you've probably got 25 pounds of these stuck away in the pantry. So these are some that I oven canned 2 years ago. Let's give these a try. So we're going to make the beans up first, and later on we will turn those beans into our spicy bean dip. Let's get started on making the beans. So this recipe calls out for 1 pound of dry pinto beans. Pretty good seal from 2 years ago. So let's measure out a pound of beans. And that was about 2/3 of that quart. So we're going to cook these beans overnight in a crock pot. So let's get the beans in the pot. And to the beans we add 9 cups of water. Now we're going to throw in a few more ingredients. Let's go through those. So into the crock pot we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 an onion. Although this is a small one from my garden this year, I'm going to use this whole onion. It's not that big. And we're going to chop up 1 jalapeno. So if you've been following my channel, you know my peppers haven't done too well this year. So this is one I pickled from last year. We're going to use that. So I've chopped up the onion and the jalapeno, and the rest of the spices are in the bowl with the beans. Now we're going to put these in. We're going to mix them up a little bit, and then we're going to set the crock pot on low and cook this overnight. We'll see you in the morning. The beans have been in the slow cooker overnight, and they're ready to use. Now, if you're in a hurry or you don't have dried pinto beans at home, you can just get a can of pinto beans from the grocery store, and it works just as well. But it was no work leaving these in the crock pot overnight. Pretty simple. Well, let's take a look at those beans. So here they are. They have plumped up, taken on a lot of water. And now we're going to take 1 pound of these for our spicy bean dip. So we want to take out 1 pound of beans, just the beans. So I have a slotted spoon here. But we're leaving the liquid behind. We'll use a little bit of that liquid when we make the bean dip. What are we looking at here? 9 ounces, okay. Whoop. 15 ounces, just a little bit more. There we got 1 pound of cooked beans. Now I started with 1 pound of dry beans, but there's still plenty of beans left. And you can make refried beans with those, or I think we're going to have brisket tomorrow. We'll eat some of those beans with our brisket. Let's look at the rest of the ingredients. So to our 1 pound of beans, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of cumin, a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter teaspoon of paprika, an 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder, and an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I've got them all measured out here. We will also be adding half a dozen, maybe more, pickled jalapenos, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and a half a teaspoon of vegetable oil. And we also may add a little bit of juice from the beans, maybe up to a tablespoon if we think it needs it. So into the food processor, we're going to put our beans. And then put in our spices. Going to add apple cider vinegar. And a little vegetable oil. And we're going to start off with about a half a dozen of these sliced jalapenos. They're pretty small. They were the last ones that came out of the garden this year, so we'll add more of those to taste if we need it. And like I said, if we need to add any more liquid, we'll take some from the beans. Okay. I think we are going to add about a tablespoon of liquid from the beans as well. Goes. Now we'll continue processing until we get it the consistency that we want. Well, that's looking pretty good, but I think I want to add in a few more jalapenos. Like I said, the ones I have are pretty small. If you get these pickled jalapenos in a can at the store, they're quite a bit bigger, so we'll put in a few more. And continue mixing that up. Well, they're to the right consistency. Let's get them out and get them in this bowl here. So let's weigh these beans and see what we ended up with. Well, we have 1 pound of bean dip, or 16 ounces. Probably a quarter's worth of ingredients in this. Quite the deal. Let's give it a taste. Well, we have some Texas Dipper corn chips. This is Texas after all. Let's try it out. Very spicy, very good, and very, very easy to make. I hope you give this a try. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.